On April 29, 2009, a large offshore purification facility named Big Shell, built off the coast of Manhattan, was taken by a terrorist group calling themselves Sanjo Bribati. At that time, the current American president and multiple janitors visiting the facility were taken hostage, demanding a ransom of $300 billion in exchange for them. They warned that if the ransom isn't paid, they will detonate Big Shell with a large number of explosives, sparking a financial disaster. Gulf Coast would experience the greatest environmental devastation in history. Raiden took on the task of rescuing the kidnapped president. In addition, he aimed to disarm the terrorists as a rookie member of the newly formed Foxhound Special Forces, with the support of Roy Campbell and Rosmariella. He began his solo infiltration into Big Shell. In Metal Gear Solid 2, there is an incident that occurred 2 years before the main Big Shell incident. In the Tanker Edition, a tanker sinks off the coast of Manhattan. Our hero Snake takes center stage in this Tanker Edition. Solid Snake, the heroic legend from Snake's Tale. Those who played the previous game might have been excited after controlling a tanker soldier. They would ask, "Am I onto a winner here? How bad would the main story be?" while anticipating what comes next. But in the next mission, a handsome young man with silver hair appears. He's a green soldier with zero combat experience. I was very worried. Could I really control him? I had this anxiety. Would I be asked to control him? Such worries started to creep into my mind. Furthermore, according to the strategic explanation provided by Colonel Campbell, our heroes are among the casualties of the Big Shell incident. Who really is this person? We players have a number of questions, heading towards the innovative narrative as the seemingly unreliable youngster Raiden. Thinking of those new to the game, it's possible to skip the tanker chapter, depending on how you answer some initial questions at the start of a new game. Therefore, some might not know the protagonist of Metal Gear Solid. Some might have missed the protagonist of Metal Gear Solid, given that this installment features a double protagonist and introduces a new main character, Raiden. Director Kojima wanted to present Snake, the old soldier, from the perspective of a new soldier. He thought it was strange that a veteran warrior like Snake always had to restart from the beginning in each game. He expressed interest in highlighting a fresh protagonist because it seemed odd for Snake to start all over again every installment, which inspired the creation of Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2. Raiden starts as a rookie soldier in Metal Gear Solid 2, receiving advice from Campbell and Rose via radio during missions. He also receives support from a mysterious soldier named Priskin, who infiltrated earlier, and an appearing cyborg ninja. In the process, it's revealed that the person behind the incident is not Solid Snake, but a man named Solidus Snake, and, surprisingly, Priskin is indeed Solid Snake. Furthermore, it's revealed that the entirety of the Big Shell election incident was an elaborate stage managed by an AI network system known as the Patriots. As he gets closer to unraveling the truth about the case, he gains access to his sealed-off past memories. His real name is Jack, following the murder of his parents by Solidus Snake. He was abducted and subjected to brainwashing, becoming a trained killing machine. He participates in a civil war in his home country of Liberia, where his violent knife skills and his tendency to kill more than anyone else earned him the nicknames Jack the Ripper and the White Devil. The White Devil of the Patriots pays for his death after the war. Jack goes to America, but he cannot overcome his memories of the past. He turns his back and lives his life. The Patriots were the ones who exploited him. The Patriots manipulated Jack's memories with nanomachines. He only had a VR mission experience. It was his first real battle. He had imprinted memories of being a divine soldier who has never killed. He was a member of a non-existent sacred Foxhound. Such memories were implanted in him. The truth of all incidents was an S3 plan by the Patriots. Raiden knew it was an exercise to prove the utility of the S3 plan. He didn't pass on the manipulation of his pawns, even Solidus Snake, who was thought dead. He knew that even one person was exploited by the Patriots. Raiden, who got his memories back as Jack challenged Solidus Snake to a battle personally. I had trouble with the battle with Solidus, using only Raiden's sword as a weapon. The battle with Solidus was a struggle. Just like the original Monhan, the sword attack was performed by moving only the right chest analog stick. It is intuitive but difficult. This operation method was adopted even in the slashing mode of Rising Revengeance. Later in Rising Revengeance, it was a pain until I got used to it. Raiden regained his sealed memories by this incident further, through the reality presented by the AI of the Patriots. He was lost about who he was due to the reality. According to Snake's words, you will determine your way of life and what you want to pass on to the next generation. You will decide everything, deciding to make the decisions yourself. You'll start the new life with Rose, who has become your real lover. Metal Gear Solid 2 has, after which the Metal Gear series' numerous keywords and foreshadowing that will become the pillars of the story are scattered around, especially complex and difficult to understand. The mission told at the beginning of the story is a fiction. That fiction is actually even more fictional. There's a setup that Spanda, who is writing this article, may also be actually not fiction. There is a rumor at the beginning of the story that this is the case. After reading through a lot of materials and articles, it's now 3:30 in the morning. In 3 hours, Spanda has to prepare to go to work. Maybe this memory is also a fiction manipulated by patriots. I wish it was, there is no doubt about it. I'm waiting for appreciating comments to support such a ridiculous Spanda. But don't miss out on the detailed story of MGS2, as I plan to make a complimentary video at another time. Don't miss out. 14 years after the Big Shell election incident. With Snake's advice attempted to live peaceful days with Rose once the nightmare's memories were awakened, they couldn't be erased. The line between reality and virtual became blurred. Gradually their life became rough. It had a mental effect. The child in Rose's belly became stillborn. Raiden was affected by this. His weak character tried to escape from reality. He disappeared, then visited Big Mama, who was leading the resistance against the Patriots. Visited Eva activated to recover Big Boss's body. He finds himself back on the battlefield, but ends up captured by the Patriots as a human enhancement experiment. He undergoes cybernetic surgery. Raiden, who was rescued by Big Mama, received treatment from Dr. Matra the Patriots created nanomachines within him. Nanomachines were removed, his blood replaced with a white artificial blood named White Blood. He was given artificial white blood. This happened because a certain time was needed to adjust. Instead, he gained an enhanced skeleton with extraordinary physical abilities and a body that won't die from some extent of bleeding. Then, with a mission to assassinate Liquid Ocelot in South America, he appears in front of Solid Snake and helps pave the way for him between reality and virtual reality. Raiden, who was losing sight of the reason for his existence, clings to Snake, who believes in his reality to free his destiny. Believing it's the only way to prove his existence, ends up fighting a reckless battle on Shadow Moses Island. Continues from Metal Gear Solid 2 with an immortal body against Bump Settle the Cause. Cutting off his own right arm due to an accident during Escape Arsenal ship Outer Haven of Lunge from it becomes a shield to protect the Snake. Crushed and crushed at the same time, the left arm was shattered. It will sink into the sea. Somehow a man rescues him and saves his life. To help Snake infiltrate the Outer Haven, even with both arms missing, he showed up for support. I fought with the Guangzhou breaking blade in my mouth. After the incident, the reinforced skeleton was removed. Lost arms are closer to human skin. An artificial prosthetic hand was attached, from Rose, who was also estranged. The child Ryuzan is under the watchful eye of the Patriots. I was told that it was a disguise to deceive his biological son John is growing up safely. That's where you'll be meeting face to face for the first time. Knowing everything, Raiden communicates with Rose John. I decided to spend my new life with my family. It's not like you're going to be forced to play a role in the previous game. Weak heart, conflicted with one's own destiny. Leiden's original humanity. Ich Miyateki. Look at Raiden clinging to Snake's arms. I'm sure there are many female fans who thought it was emo. If you're good looking, you're allowed to do anything. For example, if I'm clinging to your feet, can you tell me it's emo? Year 2018. Despite his peaceful life, his public appearance was greatly impacted by the widespread use of his artificial skin and the overall lack of knowledge about cyborgs. Due to this circumstance, finding regular employment was a struggle. Nevertheless, Raiden joined a civilian military security company founded by a former voice actor. He then signed up for Maverick Security Consulting Inc., returning once again to the battlefield. Cyborg technology has made great strides, eliminating the need for artificial dialysis. This has also significantly improved physical abilities, and it was safe to say he thrived in his duties. While handling a blade resembling a photon sword, Raiden studied the spirit of assassination, taught during the Edo period samurai Shinkaga style. Raiden began to learn the spirit of a killer blade, taught by a chest-riding cowboy. For Raiden, who still harbors a lingering murderous impulse, this way of thinking becomes his psychological salvation for living on the battlefield. This also provides him with a reason to accept his existence and anchors his beliefs. Raiden was tasked with the responsibility of escorting the cavalry in a war-torn African nation, but the Prime Minister was abducted by the cyborg attack from the Desperado Company, which could be considered an outlaw PMC. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister gets abducted in the cyborg attack from the Desperado Company. Following the attack, the captain is killed by Sundowner, one of the Winds of Destruction from the Desperado Company, on a pursuing freight train. The captain dies by the hands of Sundowner, a member of the Desperado Company's Winds of Destruction, in addition to dignitary Samuel Hodries, also known as Jetstream Sam, who was hired by the same company. In a battle with Sam, Raiden lost his left eye and arm, however their enemy managed to escape. It was then revealed that the Desperado Company has been providing military support to the terrorists, who have seized the capital of Abkhazia, Sukhumi, Main Abakabakando, Maine. 3 weeks after the murder of Captain Mani, Raiden, fitted with a new advanced body, sets up a trip to South America at the request of Abkhazian government officials to repay his debt to Sukhumi and Sam. He is opposing Desperado Inc. and fighting against their soldiers while trying to reveal the conspiracy of the mastermind in their shadows. Eventually, he realizes that acting as a mercenary was a trick to mask his true nature. Sam, who admires him, points out that in the end, what he's really doing is killing people. Upon hearing the emotional cries of the suppressed cyborgs, Raiden becomes unsettled and starts to lose sight of his own reason to fight. However, by acknowledging his own emotional weaknesses and lifting his own communication restrictions, he is able to unravel the violent memes and awaken the sealed Jack the Ripper mode. He accepts himself, taking pleasure in his innate instinct to kill, using his own will to discern evil, thereby transforming into a true mercenary. After abducting street children and extracting their brains for a brainwashing program similar to the one utilized by Solidus Snake, they are educated and remodeled into military cells. Later, he has a final battle with Colorado Senator Stephen Armstrong, who aim to spread the flames of war around the world. After resolving the incident, Raiden indulges in killing to pursue his own path. Personally, he enjoys murder, and it's grotesque spitting out the last line while releasing his instincts. Although it was a close call, thank you very much for watching.